For 60 years now, we have been stronghold by two political parties interchangeably, who have gotten their chance at governance, at governing Jamaica, some of them over different period, some for a term, some for 2 terms, some for 3 terms, some for 4 terms, and things of that nature. But coming out of all of that governance, we have yet to see a real effort by any political party so far, all succeeding government and current government we have in place. We are yet to see any real effort, any real established, focused, committed effort to lift Jamaica up from the bottoms up. We have yet to see that. To make the lives of the people at the bottom rung of the ladder better, to give them the chance of a better opportunity to a better quality that will lead to a better quality of life. We have yet to see that. Many times I keep thinking about a third party, and I can go back to Michael Malisiaga, Bruce Golding, Portia Simpson, name it. All of the prime ministers that we have, right up to Andrew Holness, and opposition Mark Golding. I can talk about all of them. None of them have yet displayed the potential to take Jamaica to that level where people can, where majority of most of the country can say, yes, we're seeing a better and enjoying a better quality of life thanks to the government in power, or thanks to the government of the day. We have yet to see that. In an earlier video, I've made it clear that I don't know why there's never a real third-party challenge to these two political parties. This duopoly that we have been enjoying, we have been suffering under for the past 60 years. Why isn't there a third party that can step forward to pose a serious challenge to these two political parties? Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, I decided to take a look at the UIC. And I looked at the UIC versus tradition. When I say the UIC versus tradition, I asked myself the question, can a third party break the JLP PMP stronghold on governance, politics, and in Jamaica? I asked myself the question, is this a genuine liberation from the UIC has contested a couple of elections out there, and I know they don't get a lot of votes and all of these things, not a lot of recognition at the poll, but their representative, a couple of them get some 20, 30 votes and all of these things, which is neither here nor there. So I question myself what is happening with the UIC, and I take a look at their manifesto, which really didn't strike a big chord with me. But that's their manifesto. I'll get to that a little later in the video. By this point you're listening to this video, I'm going to ask you to touch that like button, and if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe, and then share and leave your comment in the video, because I'm beseeching your help, your assistance to help me grow this channel. It's important to help me grow it, because I alone can't do it. I may be the lone voice out there saying certain things and standing up for certain things, but I don't mind being that. I don't mind creeping before I walk, and understand, and walk before I run. But I can't do these things without your help subscribing, liking, sharing, and commenting on what you hear in this video. Now, the UIC has contested many elections, a couple of elections so far. Not necessarily many, a couple. I know they were in the 2024 parish council because I started tracking them a little before 2024, probably about 2022. But I really started to take notes on them in 2024. They did track that election, the parish school parochial election. They participated in that, and they also participated in the last general election. They didn't have much of a impression on the voters from the votes that they got, that their representative got. And I asked myself the question, why this is so? Then I realized I decided to go to their manifesto. I went to their page, went online, pulled it up. But I don't know for the life of me, ladies and gentlemen, and you tell me if this makes sense, because the leader of the UIC, Mr. Patterson, I don't know if he was the one who drafted the manifesto by himself or the policy guidelines of UIC. I don't know if he was the one who drafted. But he has no intention of accepting donations from donors. Both the PNP and the JLP have a donor profile on their webpage. You can go on it and donate if you want. But he decided not to do it. So his representatives, they have to fund themselves. They have to fund themselves through an election cycle. Now, one got it, Mr. Patterson, you think your party is going to match and even come close to the JLP or the PNP if that's the way you're going to do your thing. That's one of the things. There's a lot more in your policy guidelines and manifesto that I read that really doesn't really make an impression upon me, even though you talked about free market economy and all of these things. But there's a lot of stuff, sir, that will not sit well with Jamaica. And that's why when Jamaicans read it, I know I'm not the only one who read it. A lot of people have read it also. I've spoken to a couple of persons who have read it, and they're not impressed with it either. I promised myself to give you a call to try and reach out to you one of these days, but I've not yet done so because of work and studies. But I definitely will get around to it. And ladies and gentlemen, because of that, what I see on their manifesto, which is not very appealing, which is not very democratic-like either, I should say, I've asked the question, is this a genuine liberation from the UIC or merely another illusion from another third party, political party? Can the UIC challenge the status quo where two parties dictate our national destiny? To get a clear understanding whether or not the UIC can pose such a challenge, I first decided to look at the construct of the UIC, to weigh the possibility of the UIC dismantling the 60-year-old duopoly held by the JLP and the PNP. I am doing this for a few reasons. And I'm going to quote, I listed 3 reasons why I'm doing this. 1, to identify if the UIC can pose a serious challenge to the long-standing duopoly machinery. To provide my viewers and fellow citizens of Jamaica with the necessary tools to distinguish between genuine liberation and a political illusion by the UIC. Thirdly, to introduce a high-level systemic debate that addresses the broader desire for a national rebirth. Now, what I've said before, when I read the UIC manifesto and their party policies and guidelines, I mean, if I was to get myself on the UIC, become a member of the UIC, I'm only doing it to get my name out there politically. But not because I have any hopes of winning an election or anything like that, but just to get my name out there. Because if I'm asked to fund my election campaign out of pocket, that's one hell of a task for me. So what it does is to isolate me from society. isolate me from the business sector, from the health sector, from the education sector, from every sector of the community or the constituency in which I am. So when I meet with people, what do I tell them? I needed to go out and vote for me. On what basis? How do I make a genuine representation of myself? It's like you're in a business and when you go to you're a main speaker at a general meeting, and after your speech, people come up to you and say, "Oh, can I have one of your business cards?" And you have nothing to offer people. You have nothing to offer. That's basically the position the UIC has put themselves in. If you read their manifesto, why? You can accept donation, Mr. Patterson. You can solicit donation and still remain authentic and real for the people. Be transparent, be responsible, be accountable. And make sure that your politics is based upon the equitable distribution of justice and opportunity and wealth. When I say wealth, you don't throw money around, but you throw the opportunities create that kind of equitable distribution of wealth, because you will be able to, people will be able to get jobs so they can earn some money. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not putting down the UIC, because if it's not dead in Jamaica, we don't throw it away. But when it's dead, we have to realize and we have to try to find out just how dead it is. What can be done to revive it? And what are we doing to revive it? Is this, how long will it take us to get it revived? And what makes it dead? Can we reverse that and change that to something else and hope it comes alive? For the UIC, when you read their manifesto to the PMP's manifesto and the JLP manifesto, they have a couple of ideas which is far better than what the PMP and the JLP is putting out as far as employment is concerned, as far as education is concerned. They just need to fine-tune it. And remember, Mr. Patterson, Jamaica had a very, very bad experience with this whole socialistic system long ago. This is not something you can just put out there and expect, again, people are going to just gravitate towards it. Education is important. Empowering people is important. People has to have knowledge to make a decision. Now, if I don't have money to put on a campaign meeting, if I don't have money to put on a constituency meeting, if I don't have money to advertise myself, what platform am I going to use to empower people in my constituency to vote for me? If I am a UIC member contesting an election. What? How do I tell people about the economic plans we have, the employment plans we have, the labor plans we have, educational plans we have, health, the plans we have for the health sector? How do I tell people about these things without a platform? And ladies and gentlemen, that is basically and intrinsically what is wrong when I read through the UIC manifesto and its policy guidelines. Absolutely socialistic in nature. And I'm talking about extreme socialism too. Because if I have to fund myself, sir, the party has no machinery to help fund us as contestant. What is happening here? What are you asking me to do? And I asked myself, Mr. partisan, because politics is never what it seems on the face of it. I ask myself if you are really collecting quietly but not distributing anything to your party members to help them on their journey in contesting the different and position at the parochial and at the ministerial level election. Ladies and gentlemen, that is as much I'm gonna say about UIC, because I think they are an illusion, not to be taken seriously as yet. Someone asked me to talk about them, but I did look at them, and for that person who commented that I should look at them, I'm gonna let you know that I did take the opportunity to look at what they have, and you can go look at their manifesto for yourself and read it through. Their ideas are far different. Their ideas are a lot more socialistic and all of these things. But to fund yourself out of your pocket in an election leaves you with no platform to speak to the people or to the voters. And that's the downfall. And that's what's going to keep the UIC in the bottom of the barrel unless they change their system, unless they change their way of doing things. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again. Like I said, if you see this video, please press that like button, the subscribe button. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe, share it, give it a like, and leave your comment there for me. I want to grow this channel, and I want you all to help me grow this channel, because we're getting there. Like I said, my studies is coming to an end, just another 6-7 months to go, and I'll be ready to settle down into this and give it what it's worth. We need to have someone really talking about Jamaica and bringing common sense to Jamaica and some of the things that our politicians are do, because we all need to get on board. We all need to come together for Jamaica, not for JLP politics, not for PMP politics. Those are all promises and feel-good stories, and like I said, pulling the wool over your eyes. We need to see reality for ourselves, and the reality is when our lives start to improve. When we, the common people's lives start to improve, then we can say, yes, things is happening for us. Welcome once again to the Lenny Robbins YouTube channel. Know your politics. Let's create a better understanding for one and all by watching what they do. Watching what they do. We must watch what they do by not only seeing, but listen to what they say. That's important. Ladies and gentlemen, Lenny Robbins, blessed love Jamaica, over and out. One love to all Jamaicans wherever you are. See you later.